the sweep to it is just really, really cool. It's like one long belly, reminiscent of a much more expensive knife, Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Look at that. Look how similar those sweeps are, right? Just one long continuous belly. That's really cool. Hello my YouTube friends, Late Boy Scout here with my review of the Kershaw Packrat, obviously in the orange G10 scales. Hard to find nowadays, was pretty cheap some time ago when the orange was kind of on discount, on sale, on clearance, whatever. Anyway, that was kind of what initially attracted me to this knife, and I wanted to try it out anyway. Then when I saw it was orange scales, and it was considerably cheaper than the normal price, I was all over it. Today, if you're going to get the black scaled version of it, you're going to pay something like 50 to 60, maybe less, depending on where you pick it up. Is this a good price for this knife? Is that a good knife for the price? Let's go through this review, and we'll see if we can figure that out. What do we have blade steel-wise? 14C28N, that's a Sandvik steel, which is high in carbon and is stainless. That's a pretty good steel, and that's part of why you're paying so much for this knife. Any other reason? Made in USA. There's another reason, and maybe one reason why you should be proud to pay that much money for this knife. How many of you are, by raise of hand, how many of you are kind of scared off by this knife because of the funny looks, because of the big sort of teardrop handle? One, two, yeah, a bunch of you. Okay. Well, that's not surprising. I was kind of too. You know, it's kind of an unusual, organic-looking knife, and if I'm into something that's a little more, you know, straightforward and not so, I don't know, trying to be alive or whatever, I may not like this knife. But guys, trust me on this. When you get it in hand, you'll change your tune. You will change your mind about this knife. It's wonderful in hand. That shape is extremely ergonomic. Look how rounded. Perfectly rounded down there. Right? And a great little finger choil from the flipper, okay? And a little thumb ramp. No jimping up there, but still good feel in hand. Not too thick. And that's always kind of a big deal for me. I don't know why. I'm just a little weird about it. I don't like my knives to be really thick and fat in pocket. So it's not too thick. A spacer there is made of Zytel or something like that. Some sort of an FRN, a fiberglass reinforced nylon. We do have some milling out going on there, as much as they can pull off while still, you can barely see it there, as much as they can pull off while still putting the speed safe assist in here. And listen, okay, that might also bug you, but that's just kind of how the speed safe works. It's a little torsion bar in there, and when it's in this position, there's really no pressure on the torsion bar. So, you know, when you get it to here, you won't hear that because that torsion bar is under pressure. You get it in, you don't hear that because that torsion bar is under pressure. But once you get it out, the torsion bar is under pressure, not under pressure anymore. It's relaxed. So it might do a little bit of this. Okay, don't freak out about it. I don't freak out about it. I don't mind it too much. And just go with it. Pocket clip, yeah, I don't mind it. It's cool. It says Kershaw on it. It's got kind of a funky shape to it. The whole knife is funky shaped, so you know it kind of fits, I suppose. How much of that is going to be sticking out of your pocket? About that much. Okay, if that's too much for you, go look for another knife, but that doesn't bother me too much. The lanyard hole is large enough to fit your paracord through, and then you'll kind of weave it and do whatever you want to with it. But if you're thinking about doubling it up and fitting it through there, I think again, I can barely fit just one strand of it, so I don't think you're going to be able to double it up and push it through there. It will be disassemblable. You can take this thing down with, what are those, Torx? Looks like Torx bits. Yeah, I believe they are. So you can take this thing down and clean it out, do whatever you need to with it if you have to. No problem. And that might be a fun little project too, to see how the Speed Safe Assist works. It's a very cool little device and very simple. I like it. I like the way the Speed Safe works on these Kershaw knives. It is a liner lock. It is actually not that difficult to actuate, even though You see that it's almost flush with the other side of the handle. There are a lot of other knives I could show you where it's not so flush and much easier to actuate. However, having used this knife a fair bit, I really don't have a problem just pushing that over a little bit and getting it closed. It hasn't been a problem for me. It does have thumb studs that are, well, I don't, could I actuate it with the thumb stud? Not really. Not having any luck getting it to deploy with the thumb stud, so I prefer to just have those gone and remove that from the profile completely. The flipper is the only way you're going to use it anyway. And look, they don't even stop the blade. It's already got a little stop pin there, so why does it, I don't know. Kershaw, sometimes they like to be redundant. And that's one bit of redundancy that I would have liked to do without. What else can I talk about? Oh, the blade. Yeah, the blade, man. It's a nice flat ground blade. Not fully flat ground, but it might as well be. It goes up so high. The sweep to it is just really, really cool. It's like one long belly. Reminiscent of a much more expensive knife, Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Look at that. Look how similar those sweeps are, right? Just one long continuous belly. That's really cool. I like that in a knife when I can get it. I mean, just the cut, the cutting power, the abilities you get with that, it's kind of an ideal blade shape, okay? And then it kind of sweeps backward. It's sort of cut out here and kind of sweeps back. Not a trailing point because it kind of drops back down again, so I wouldn't call that any sort of a Persian. It's, I don't know, almost a cross between sort of a trailing point and a, sheep's foot drop point? I don't know. It's a very unique blade shape. And, it lends itself to the sort of organic shape of the entire knife. The G10 on it is good and fairly grippy. And I think that's going to be the case no matter what color you get it in. Well, that's about all I can say about the knife. I really do like it. I highly recommend it at the price of, what, $50-ish, made in the USA with that premium steel. It's not a bad price for this knife, and I don't know, if you're in the market for something like it, I definitely recommend that you pick one up. Let's look at some competitive options while we're here, though. Again, $50-ish, maybe $60 for the Kershaw Packrat. What else have we got? Spyderco Tenacious compares very nicely with that, size-wise and ergonomics-wise and just utility-wise. $35-ish, something like that. How about the Ken Onion, Walmart version of the Ripple? Decent steel on this, decent ergonomics. A little more conventional looks, I'd say, except for that sort of, I don't know, Alien movie, Sigourney Weaver kind of thing, Ridley Scott look to it on the handle. That's fine, whatever, I still like it. Good looking knife. In the $30-$40 range, I think, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Might need to make a little bit of room because I got more knives coming. More knives like the Kershaw Oh So Sweet in the $25 range. That's a really nice price for that knife. And it's a direct competitor, different steel. This is actually the version that has AUS 6, so that's definitely not a good steel compared to that. The current version in 8CR13 MOV is on par with the Spyderco Tenacious and is really not a bad steel. For everyday carry, it's very serviceable. I'll talk about, briefly, just go off on a tangent, and talk about how serviceable this steel is. It's a little bit harder than your 8CR13 MOV. Still serviceable if you have a good sharpening system, like, say, the Spyderco Triangle Sharp Maker. Yeah, you'll be able to put your edge back onto that. It holds a good edge for a good while. I like it. More options. If you're willing to pay a little bit more, how about a Spyderco Centifonte 3? That's a fantastic knife. VG10 steel, if I'm not mistaken, made in Seki City, Japan. Yeah, you're going to pay a bit more than $50 to $60, but maybe, fairly close still to that price. What else? If you're willing to go up to the $70, $80 range, how about a Benchmade 5.56 mini-griptillian? A little bit smaller than all the others, but a very, very good knife for the price and for everything you get. 154 cm steel. Great, great knife. If you're willing to spend even more than that, how about a Spyderco Cali 3? This one Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to find it nowadays. In Aogami Super Blue Steel. Oh, what a wonderful ergonomic knife. Super thin. Oh, it just feels great in pocket, great in hand. Terrific, terrific knife. And if you're willing to go even a little more than that, but very close in price to something like the Cali 3, what about a Benchmade Osborne design 943? Wow, that is a sweet blade. S30V steel, very hard steel, hard to sharpen, or just takes patience to sharpen. So those were some competitive offerings to the Kershaw Packrat. Some of them not so competitive. These two nowhere near competitive with their much higher prices. But as far as usability and just the usefulness of your blade, what you're going to put it through, the everyday carry tasks and so forth, all these blades fit into that, that same role very, very well. So the Kershaw Packrat is certainly not alone, and it's got competitors. And if one of these other knives is going to work better for you, if you want to save some money, or if you just want to spend even more and get something nicer, then go with one of those other options. But if you can get over the funky looks, you will really enjoy the ergonomics of this fantastic knife. Good for the price, a nice USA-made knife from our friends at Kershaw. That's the Kershaw Packrat. I'm the Late Boy Scout. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.